you feel like, wow, I've entered in another time dimension. You can have a drink, you can catch up with your friends, and maybe even do the Charleston.
I'm Sara Gore and welcome to Open House NYC, everyone. This week, creative living and design. And I'm bringing it all to you from this glam apartment overlooking Madison Square Park. This is a place where pre-war elegance meets bold modern design. Every area, and I mean every area, has been designed to the nines. Check out this dramatic 55-foot great room framed by 3 exposures with areas for lounging, hosting, and dining. The south-facing eat-in kitchen is custom, of course, and decked out with all the best. And a gallery hall flows to the private wing with 4 beautifully appointed bedrooms, including a lavish primary suite. Well, I hope you brought your dancing shoes because we are kicking things off with the passion project of dancer turned interior designer Francis Toumbakaris. From the street, you'd never guess the design delights that await you inside this 1860s West Village townhouse. Enjoy.
Welcome to the West Village. My name is Francis Toumbakaris and I'm the principal designer of Francis Interiors. I want to show you a magnificent project we recently completed in the historical street Waverly Place. This kitchen dining room is the first thing that you see when you enter the home. The reason why our client purchased this home is every level is very compartmentalized, and she said, Francis, I really want you to do something very unique on each floor and then find a way to tie it together. I say, how about I start from early century New York and start moving up decades? So this ground entry level floor, we are in the Deco era. There are elements such as all this gilding that you see with the wallpaper, a black kitchen with brass inlays, a stunning deco fireplace, and there is so much drama that you feel like, wow, I've entered in another time dimension. In my work there is always movement, so why don't we join these cranes in their flight to the second floor? Welcome to the Speakeasy, the second floor of this amazing townhouse. How many clients ask their designers to create for a living room an actual speakeasy bar from the 1930s? And the inspiration of this room started with a text from my client. She texted me that chair that has these gorgeous tassels. I took that creative direction and went crazy with it. For example, this sofa, it has clean, sleek, contemporary lines with a lot of architecture in the back. Lighting is everything. I'm a person of the theater, so behind this banquette there is a small piece of lighting that at night is super sexy. And we really wanted this bar to feel very authentic. My client loves to entertain, and right now this has become quite the spot in the West Village. So overall this space, you can have a drink, you can catch up with your friends, and maybe even do the Charleston. Welcome to my client's executive office. And everything you see here was designed by me, and we found this gorgeous blush paper to dress the walls. Obviously, I wanted this room to reflect my client's personality. She loves fashion as well as purses. So I created a mini Saks Fifth Avenue vitrine in a hidden corner that only she can see. And the bathroom here, it's so yummy. It's featuring a freestanding Victorian tub, a Gucci wall covering with birds flying, and an authentic Venetian mirror from the 19th century. Having already designed 4 bedrooms for my client, I wanted to do something different this time. She wanted something calming and almost monochromatic. And when I showed her this wall covering, she fell in love. So I dressed the rest of the space with these tones. We selected luxurious bedding and a beautiful cream stone for the fireplace. Because the ceilings are very low, I needed to source a light that is a flash mount, so I found this fixture that feels like pebbles on a California beach. This project was definitely one of the most successful we have ever done. Thank you for taking this tour with me, and I will see you in our next project.
Nice moves, Francis. If you could only teach me a few. Coming up after the break, we are going to be visiting the plant queen, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. Now we're stepping into the lush oasis of Christopher Griffin, known to his followers as Plant Queen. Christopher is an amateur horticulturist, fashion enthusiast, and the author of You Grow Girl, a guide to nurturing your own home garden. Lessons learned in their very own Brooklyn apartment. Enjoy.
Well, hello, darling. My name is Christopher Griffin, also known as Plant Queen. I am a nature nerd, a plant enthusiast with a fashionable flair. And we are currently in my lush indoor jungle of about 200 plants. Yes, you heard right, 200 plants in Brooklyn, New York. So we are currently in my multi-purpose space, which includes my living room, my plant nook, and my working space. Everything in my space is with intention, and I really believe that when you're decorating your space, it's like writing a love letter to your past, present, and future self. I love the color yellow. It's also the color of my grandmother's favorite flower, the sunflower. And I have a shrine for my mother. These particular roses are just a constant reminder of the gentle touch and love that my mother always showered me with. We are currently in my plant nook. I tend to use this space as a place to meditate and sit with the plants that I have. I have about 45 to 50 plants, or as I like to call them, green girls. I have some wall art here that I've thrifted and painted myself, actually. Yes, she is an artist, darling. For me, each plant is a bit of a classroom, an opportunity to be curious and to learn. And I do think that my plants have allowed me a pathway to explore enjoying my own company. As a person who works remotely, it is important that I have a space to get the work done. So this chair, I love it not only because it resembles like a bamboo kind of design, but it's also yellow. The desk is a very light wood, and it is adorned with a bunch of green girls. We decided to put the wallpaper on the ceiling to kind of encapsulate you and make you feel like you're in this whimsical, playful area. And I have a lot of lushness because I like to be surrounded by nature. I would say my bedroom probably has the most plants out of any room in my apartment. In terms of the color scheme, it reminds me of the ocean. Call me Little Mermaid, you know? The reason I enjoy this plant and why I feel like it adds to the design of my space is that the speckles, right? It kind of matches my wall. We love a theme. We love consistency. This is also the space that I wrote most of my book, You Grow Girl. It's a guide to growing your inner garden as well as your indoor garden. And there you have it, darling, my bedroom where I lay my head and I breathe that good air quality thanks to my lush green girls. Darling, we come to the end of the house tour. I hope my lush green girls, my vibrant decor inspires you to live colorfully, vibrantly, and unapologetically in your truth. If you want to follow along on the journey, darling, follow me at Plant Queen. That's Plant Kween. And honey, I'll see you there.
Coming up just after the break, we are in West Hollywood with this design duo. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Now we're in the Hollywood Hills with interior designer Una Milan and her boyfriend, furniture designer Tom Moiters. They're opening the doors to Una Casa Privada, which is not just Una's home, but also a showroom for her designs and the artisans she represents. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Una Milan.
And I'm Tom Moiters.
We are furniture designers.
Welcome to our home.
In our home, you're going to see a lot of pieces that we either designed or curated and we're deeply passionate about.
As I'm a plaster specialist, one of my favorite rooms is the bathroom, and I want to show you upstairs.
Well, I'll see you later while I give everybody a tour. So the first stop of the tour is here in the living room. I feel that I created a space that has a lot of interest. There are a lot of beautiful things to look at. This piece here is actually one of my absolute favorites. I love the sinuous nature of the bronze works. Other bronze pieces that I love in this room is the floor candlestick holder. It has such an elegance that it's something that really speaks to me. Lighting is obviously very important. As we all know, lighting is the jewelry of the home. I love the undulating nature of the connected blown glass beads. When it came to the kitchen, I really wanted to connect the indoors to the outdoors. So we decided to go for steel windows in here, which are really beautiful. I think it really enhances all of the other aspects and architectural elements in this room. So as you'll notice, there are no upper cabinets. I love how clean and simple it is. I love how it doesn't obstruct, again, this sort of connection with the outside. And I also raised the height of the shelf so that we could fit bottles of wine, quite frankly. And now that we're upstairs, we're here in our den. Tom, what are you doing here? I thought you were working in the bathroom.
I had a break. Why are you not talking about everything in the room here?
Well, we could start with your beautiful plasterwork.
I think like the plaster in the rooms, it really changes the room's vibe. That brings so much warmth.
And character. Now, I think you need to get back to work. So to create a feeling of coziness in here, we did a lime plaster on the walls in a darker color, paired with darker fabrics on the windows and this sort of cozy texture on the sectional sofa. Honestly, this room just feels like it wraps you up and makes you feel safe. To finish off the tour, I'd like to invite you into our bedroom. The way that the bed is oriented, it needed a focal point. So I created a fireplace which is so elegant and so subtle. I used a lot of greens, which are very calming, very earthy. I kept everything very neutral, but the different use of texture creates layers and interest within the room. And another place I love to relax is in the bathroom next door. Oh, hi love, I see you finished the plasterwork. It looks amazing.
Thank you.
Will you tell us what you did?
So what we did here is like we really burnished the plaster so to really create character in our walls. And I think it looks beautiful and it elevates the room in combination with the beautiful stone. And we love to have a bath at the end of the evening with a beautiful sunset.
Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us to tour our home.
We really hope you enjoyed it.
And we can't wait to see you again. Bye.
Bye.
Coming up, we are heading back to the BK with this private chef. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. Now we join private chef and creator Maddie DeVita, the talent behind the popular account Hand Me the Fork. Now, when she's not cooking for clients across the city, she's in her stylish Vinegar Hill apartment. She shows us around.
Hey, I'm Maddie. I'm a private chef and online creator. Welcome to my apartment in Vinegar Hill, Brooklyn. Come on in. So working as a private chef, I'm constantly looking for different ways to get inspired. And because I create so much content here, my apartment and what it looks like visually is so important. When my fiance and I first saw the apartment, what appealed to us most was the big open floor plan, the exposed brick, and of course the big windows that let in so much natural light, which is really nice and works well for filming and content. I absolutely love my pops of red throughout, so we have this fun kind of toga style chair, flowers on the table, and of course my favorite throw. So if you can't already tell, we absolutely love lots of natural plants and greenery around here. And you know, the greenery is just one of the many ingredients that contributes to the success of the overall recipe of this apartment. So as a chef and someone who loves to entertain, the dining table is one of the most important pieces in this apartment. It's 100% wood, the quality is just fantastic. And then of course I love the mixing and matching of elements. So these are more contemporary chairs. We have the metal, the leather, and I think it's a really nice counter to one, the wood, and two, this being an antique piece and these being new. The bar shelf doesn't only have bottles, there's glasses, flower vases, even recipe books. I think it makes for a fun conversation starter and it looks really great too. So right off the living room is the bedroom. I love that the double doors that lean into them can be kept open to really create an even bigger space. Of course, we had to bring some plants, some greenery into here, and we have the biggest plant, the biggest tree of the whole apartment, our beloved ficus. The dresser I sourced from a secondhand furniture warehouse. It's just so cozy and serene in here. All right, who's hungry? Let's go check out the kitchen. I'm gonna make a snack. This is the kitchen, arguably the most important room in the apartment. It's where I film most of my content. I literally film everything on my iPhone. Then I kind of get to work. I'll pull my cutting board out, whatever I'm working with. I have a concept for an octopus carpaccio. I'm gonna start with chopping up this shallot and we're gonna pickle it, a quick pickle. I did take it upon myself to replace the sink. It's one of my favorite decisions that I've made for the apartment. I think it looks fantastic. I love the stone counters and I love how there's kind of a little shelf that frames the counter. So one of the things I love most about cooking is the creativity. I truly never get bored because I'm not making the same menu every day. And I'm constantly having to push myself beyond what I'm comfortable with to make new dishes. It's now time to plate. This is where I have the most fun and feel the most creative because you're literally designing a plate for someone. We're gonna dress it with the pickled shallots with a really buttery olive oil and then some like peppery, almost spicy microgreens. And with that, our dish is complete. Just flavor explosion in the mouth. Well, that's my apartment. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I live and work and designed my home. I'm gonna go ahead and try what we made here. Definitely client ready.
Coming up in just a bit, now you see it, now you don't, at this Joshua Tree home. Welcome back, everyone. Now we're in Joshua Tree for a look at this mirrored desert oasis, which in recent years has become a social media hotspot. The glass exterior blends seamlessly into the landscape, so much so you might miss it at first glance. Take a look, if you can.
My name's Chris Hanley, and I own the house here, Invisible House, and designed it, and welcome to my lair. The property of the Invisible House borders on the National Park, and the distant mountains of the National Park reflect against the house. There are certain points where it's completely impossible to see. There's other times when you can sort of see into it a little bit, so it gets this sort of translucent aura to it. When you first come up to it, it's meant to be kind of a sculptural form that's universal, that pretends to have extraterrestrial aspects like the monolith of 2001: Space Odyssey. I designed it and then I collaborated with architect Toumbakaris. It's really a sculpture that you can live in, and the animals come up and kind of play around it or get a little water, so you get a lot of entertainment. The glass that's used is like a vitro spectrally selective glass. There's multiple panels. They're 18 inches apart. It's 224 feet, 11 inches long, and so divide by 18 inches. So you kind of get infinity, like an infinity mirror. So you see yourself juxtaposed with the mountains outside. That's interesting too. And then it cantilevers for another 100 feet. And so it looks like it's floating out of the ground and then over the rocks. On the roof, there's these solar panels. I have 92. Constantly, the house is interacting with the outside. And the rocks act as a kind of insulation, so they heat up in the winter, and they help for the environmental exchange of the house. It's really designed as a relationship between the inside and the outside, where you feel almost fragile on the inside sometimes from nature, but you also feel stable and secure, except for alien intervention, which is probably 24/7 in these parts. The pool itself is nearly 100 feet long, and it's about 6 feet deep from the surface and 10, 11 feet wide. And the living room runs along the pool and then extends past the pool towards basically the pool bedroom. You can slide open 22 feet of the north walls. You can go in and out of it without going through the entrance to the house. When it comes to the bedrooms, the first one, we call it the boulder room, and the glass wall slides open. And it also has glass to the outside that completely opens up. So it can also be a hangout room, everybody's sitting around. The primary suite is on the south side, and it's a very big bedroom. And there's a freestanding bathtub. There's a wall of glass. It's possible to slide those open so that when you're lying in bed, there's just air coming in and you're looking out over the national park. It's the ultimate house for waking up in the morning and just like catching up on the day as slowly as you want. Well, that about wraps up our tour of the Invisible House, and thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you had a good time.
Give this video a thumbs up and let us know which of these gorgeous homes featured in this episode was your favorite. So many to choose from. Which will you pick?